Yeah, g'day guys, Steve here from Keep It Simple 4x4. Just did a recent trip out into sort of the outback regions of South Australia and had more of a multi-day setup in the ute. So I thought, it's probably worth doing a little video. The last time I'd done this, I was out in the Western District of Victoria, and it was really just an overnighter sort of setup, so 1 or 2 nights at worst. So this is more of a setup that I sort of take when I'm going for 4 or 5 days, maybe a week. And as I'm sort of going along, I'm starting to set this ute up for a little bit more touring, so where I'm going to live out of the ute for sort of 2 or 3 weeks at a time. So working on some bedding options and just sort of setting it up a little bit better with back seat setups and that sort of thing. But anyway, this is about multi-day sort of camping out of a dual cab ute. Have a bit of a watch and see what you think. Righto, so as you're aware, it's a 2021 Ranger with heavy-duty shocks and airbags in the back, an ARB front bar, a ARB rear bar because they've got a much better tow bar and a bit more a higher angle of exit angle. And of course the Accent rack, ARB base rack, and I think it's called the Accent canopy. All very happy with that. And then on the back, I've just got the King's awning. I'd probably go for an ARB awning, but they don't make them in this size. They may do. I should actually check up. But Kings are okay as long as you sort of treat them with a bit of respect because they're not super strong or super robust. And then, of course, in the back, I've got a set of rough country drawers. I'll drop a shot of the ute with no tools in it. So obviously I'm a builder and I have tools and chock-a-block full of this all the time. Make no mistake, working out of tubs is a real pain in the backside, but there's a couple of reasons I like it. Number one is you can get things down low. The floors on these are much lower than a tray, so the centre of gravity is much shorter, and you don't get tempted as well to have too much cantilever hanging past the rear axle. So the weight distribution of these is very nice, and so they handle quite well. I've only got the standard suspension with airbags, as I say, because I am carrying a bit of extra weight, and certainly when I get that motorbike on the drawbar, I have to be very careful where I go. As I said yesterday, it handles like a Land Cruiser with a rooftop tent, a 270-degree awning on top. So yeah, it doesn't handle good, so I can't go forward driving necessarily. I just have to stick to the gravel road, so to speak. With that cantilever over the back, it gets, I'm not going to say dangerous, but it just doesn't handle well, and it's too hard on the suspension, so yeah. But anyway, this is my setup for a multi-day. So I'm going away. I'm going to be camping for 4 or 5 days. So normally for an overnighter, I always chuck my tub in. So if we have a look at that tub, frying pans, plates, cutlery, a billy, a cup, some cup of soup, some sauce, some Vegemite, and just generally, anything you're going to need to cook, and just some sort of long life food in there, some noodle dishes and all that sort of stuff. So if I'm doing overnight, I'll always just take that, and I'll probably just take an esking and just a 20-litre drum of water, and not much else really. Obviously I'll still take my sleeping system sometimes, but other times I'll just take a swag. So that's just an overnighter, just ducking up the bush, lighting a fire, having a few beers, going for a fish in the morning, and keeping it simple, stupid, the ultimate. Usually the drawers are pretty empty half the time, the tools are still in there, but in this case I'm doing a multi-day. So I certainly still take my tub, which fits in that drawer nice and neat. That sits up in there, beautiful. I keep a bit of my food in here, just some fresh vegetables and snacks and bread and whatnot. That's just sort of the pantry there. And then I go a bit further than that. So I'll take my dishwashing tub. Now this is just one of those silicone versions. The lid pops off it as you go. If you go for a couple of days, you can chuck your dirty dishes in there if you so require, and just leave it extended like that. It fits in neatly in a drawer again. And so yeah, that's nice and simple. You can squash it down or extend it up, whichever you prefer. I take my bigger stove. So in the tub has the little gas stoves, and I'll do a video about all the gas stoves I've got, because I've got dual burners. This is a single burner. It's a King stove. It's a really good stove because it's nice and versatile. It takes the propane bottles, but it also takes the LPG bottles that you can refill if you so require, because I don't like using the propane bottles all the time. It's not ideal. You got to throw them away, and it's not ideal with the smaller gas bottles. These style ones in here, I decant out of the little ones into the big ones and whatnot, so you can I decant out of the big ones into the little ones, so you can actually sort of reuse those smaller cylinders a little bit. But anyway, I haven't actually got a small propane bottle for that, LPG bottle for that King stove yet, but that's a single burner. If I'm touring, if I'm going away with 2 people and you're sort of going to be making more than single pot dishes, then obviously I'll take the 2-burner stove and the bigger LPG cylinder. Further to that, don't take an Essie multi-day. I take the little King's fridge. This is only a little one for me. Bloody beautiful. I can fit sort of 8 cans in there, some pre-packaged meal, got some lamb chops, some butter, some cheese. I've got milk in there, so that's just perfect. And that sits up in there. I just tie it down with these straps, just sits there. It sits between those 2 tie downs, absolutely perfect. I always sort of, when I'm doing a bit of research on what product I'm going to buy, I work out where I'm going to put it and will it fit. So it fits between these 2 tie downs, absolutely perfect in these with these rough country drawers. So yeah, obviously I've got my power box here that we talked about last time. So I've got an Anderson plug with the fridge, so that plugs straight into there. And I've got my what do they call it? Bloody can't remember the brand of a name. OnTap, my little OnTap jerry can there with fresh water in it. So I can plug that in there as well, and that was always the idea. So also, of course, I plug phones in and laptops, not laptops probably, but phones and tablets and things like that into there. And so that plugs into there. All this sits on this side, and that gives me running water. So that's really handy when you're washing up. And this is drinking water, so I can use it for you know, washing up, but also just to fill the billy and whatnot. So that sort of sits there, and this is my working area. If it's more than one person, make no mistake, you need more space. I'll bring a table, but just for me, for a multi-day, I can do everything off the tailgate here. Unfortunately, someone's closed my vent up, and then I got dust sucked into the actual back of the ute, so it's a bit grotty at the moment. And then, of course, a couple of more things. This always hangs in the tub. So this is a little Cedar Summit product my daughter bought me. And so that has a little spatula and a little sort of scoop spoon, some hand washing sanitizer. I put detergent in there, just normal household detergent, some scrubs and bits and pieces. That always hangs in that tub. That's okay. And that sort of means you can wash some dishes even if you just go down to the river and wash the dishes there. But when I'm doing multi-days, obviously I chuck my my little cutlery set in, my Snatch branded cutlery set. It's really good. It's got everything you could possibly need. So that just keeps it all nice and organised. So yeah, that comes with me, and I hang it up on the awning there. Like I say, camping out in the bush like this, no wind. I didn't need the sign awning on today. I haven't put that up. So yeah, just again, keeping it real simple. I actually timed myself yesterday, packed up, loading the motorbike on. Putting the rack and roll on the back, then loading the motorbike and packing up. It took me 6 minutes yesterday. So yeah, very, very simple. So that's it. That's a multi-day. Obviously I just have my clothes and put my bedding on the back seat there, and there's not much else really. It sort of keep it simple, stupid. I love it. With a multi-day, obviously you're not so worried about the get out time and the put away time at home, you know, but certainly it's a sort of a big part of it for me. Even on a multi-day, I want to be able to just sort of put it away in a couple of hours. And you know, if I'm heading home and I've got a sort of a big drive home, I'll probably quite often do the dishes, get my tub organised, and I can just get home, put everything away, and you know, 2 hours later I'm sort of sorted. So yeah, I've got the quick connects on that awning, so that just unbolts very quickly. And yeah, fridge goes in the corner of the garage, and the tub and the camping gear all sort of sit together, so it's very quick and easy to put together. I'll drop in a little video of my sleep system. So this is the just the mattress there, and I put a bed extender out here with my the black box just sits up here. I'll drop a little video in of that. That's sort of like a just a simple system where I can sleep by myself. Obviously you could probably sleep 2 people in there, put a bigger bed extender, but yeah, it's, you know, it's squishy getting in and out. Make no mistake about that. But for me, just by myself, I just reckon it's so cool. You know, like no canvas swags to try and dry out and roll out and roll back up again in the morning in the dew and whatnot. There's sort of the only canvas is actually the awning up here that has to be packed up wet, and I'm not really worried about packing that up wet, to be honest. So yeah, so that's it. That's my camping setup. Oh yeah, that's another thing I have. A little bloody iTech wheeled light sits there, so I can put that up there if I want to, or I can just have it on the side. That's just magnetic, and that just throws in a little bit extra light. Of course, the awning has the light up in here, so to speak. So that does most of the work. But with one of those, oh, I've got a bottle opener too. I bought some Coronas recently and was looking for a bottle opener. I thought, oh geez, I need a bottle opener in here. Little M6 thread I found there, so I just screwed that in with a stainless bolt, extinguisher on that side. Generally on this side, all my recovery gear is in there, and all my tie down gear and tow bars and bits and pieces is in there, so good bits of storage in there. But you can see the lower centre of gravity with these utes, with those drawers down between the wheels, so to speak, as compared to a tray where the tray has to sit above the wheels. So the tray sits up here. You know, well, I've got another 200, 300 mil lower centre of gravity because I run with a tub. Working out of them is a pain in the ass. Even camping out of them to a degree is a pain in the ass because everything has to be done through the back. A tray comes through here, you know, and you can have lift up sides and everything's right there at your waist height, so that's good, you know. You don't get a tailgate obviously to work on, but yeah, for me it's a good compromise, as I say it, and it looks stylish, it looks nice, it's easy to wash and all that sort of stuff. Not that I wash it there often, but yeah, they are a compromise, the tubs, there's no doubt about it, but for me they work, so yeah. But anyway guys, the sun's well up now, so I don't like being this late in the morning taking off, so I'm going to pack up and I'm going to head north, and we're going to find some more of this South Australian backcountry. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. We'll hope to see you out in the trail soon.